welcome back to my film and TV channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. I hope you enjoyed today's feature. Please, if you are new to the channel, please push that subscribe button and push that bell notification so you know when these little vlogs are coming out. That will be great. And of course, if you've got a little time to give us a thumbs up, guys, that'll be wonderful if you can do that for me. Leave your comments on this today, this feature today, or anything to do with film and TV. It'd be very much appreciated. I hope you enjoy what we've got for you today. Right, we're going to have a look at The Apprentice, guys. Apprentice 2022, Episode 8. And we got Silverstone this time. It's a sort of thing I've never done. One of these, my lad's been down these racetrack things and gone round in the cars, but I've never done that myself. Yeah, so interesting task. We lost Sophie last week, didn't we? Which is one of the stronger ones, I thought. But obviously, she had an absolute nightmare last week. I think that's why she lost it on the pod task. She was pretty poor as PM, and obviously she put her neck on the line. So we've got 8 remaining now, guys, haven't we, to win this £250,000. So with the 8 at the moment, 8 before the show started. I'd already written this down, guys. I'm not. This is my order. I put Harpreet back at number 1. Yeah, she'd been back at number 3, but I was quite impressed with Harpreet last week. So she went to number 1. Catherine was at number 2. And Stephanie, even though she's very, probably one of the toughest, I've just, her people skills are just a little bit dubious for me, whether she'll make it to the end. And obviously, whether Lord Sugar won't like that sort of hard side of it, which you've got to have in business, don't get me wrong. But again, you've also got to know when to be hard and when not to be hard. I don't think Stephanie's quite aware of when it is, and obviously we'll chat about what she's done on this Silverstone one as well. Interesting task for her this week. Akshay would be next. Brittany, Aaron, Nick, and right at the bottom, Akeem. So, but there's not a lot really between Brittany, Aaron, Nick, and Akeem. The last 4, to be honest with you. Before this program, of course, some might have shown. The blurb on the show: candidates are summoned to the headquarters of Aston Martin in Gaydon, Warwickshire, for their briefing by Lord Sugar. They learned that they will be laying on a racing-themed corporate away day at Silverstone. They'll have to negotiate a price per head with their clients, as well as organising a tour, a racing experience, and food and drink to give their clients a top-notch day. I didn't realise you had to make it as well. I thought they just picked what they wanted, someone else made it, but that was quite interesting. The team who made the biggest overall profit will find themselves on the winners' podium. The BBC words, not mine. While on the losing team, it will be the end of the road for at least one candidate, or a checkered flag, as someone else said, I think. Yeah, Infinity won last week, so we've got 4 on each, so we've got even sides again this week. Team Infinity, Brittany, Aaron, Harpreet, and Akeem. So yeah, for me, Harpreet is the best. Is the best on there, and it's fairly. Apart from that seems fairly weak. But obviously, it didn't particularly turn out. So please, there are spoilers in this, guys. So please watch it. It didn't particularly turn out like that. And Team Diverse, interesting. I mean, they've got Catherine. Strong, Nick, all right, not so strong, Akshay and Steph, and obviously Steph's proving very strong, of course. So interesting week, and I think the actual allocation of the jobs was the big problem for both teams this week, certainly for Team Diverse. So, yeah, who wants the PM? Well, Harpreet on her team really wanted it. I mean, Brit offered herself up, but Harpreet just went on. It's, well, obviously, they edit this programme, don't they? So it probably wasn't as bad as it looked, but she went on for a while. And Mr. Aaron just sat quietly back and just listened and accepted whatever it was. And Harpreet, of course, got PM. And, of course, they were offering, that was it, a track tour. Brit pushes for a little bit extra, but she doesn't get it. A motion simulator, which turns out they offer VAR, but they actually end up with a motion simulator, which isn't VAR, obviously. But it didn't. I say it could have turned to disaster, but perhaps it won't. Yeah, Stephanie was PM. For the others, a museum thing's always an interesting thing. A museum thing. I love museums, but a lot of people don't. So interesting to put the museum in, museum and track experience with the giant scale electric. Well, that'll win it for me every time, the giant scale electric, I must admit. But I think that was the last thing they did. So I would be very disappointed by them, or quite happy. I'm not too sure. So Steph's team were obviously going for high luxury with mid-range prices. Yeah, okay. Sort of juxtaposition, did they call it? I'm not too sure. Yeah, Aaron and Britt were on the corporate negotiation. Very interesting. They did okay. Obviously, they asked for 600 per person, and they eventually come down. I think they were offering 250, and I think they eventually agreed on 310. But obviously, they had promised this virtual reality, the VR experience, which they weren't going to get with it. So that was a bit of a dodgy one. But hey, could they get away with it? We'll see. Steph and Catherine, yeah, interesting. Two very strong girls doing this, and they failed pretty miserably, to be honest with you. They were asking for 600. They were offered 200 by the guys doing it, by the corporate. And obviously they wouldn't budge on 245, so the Steph and Catherine had to give in at 245. I think they would have gone a bit higher, but they were just obviously they're so frightened of losing it. The Steph and Catherine just panicked and took the 245. So it wasn't the greatest start. Yeah, Nick and Akshay were responsible for obviously on the food negotiation for the food. I think they wanted 16, so they got 14 plus washing dishes, I think. So that wasn't too bad from Nick and Akshay, actually. It was quite an interesting ploy to say they'd wash the dishes because I don't think they were needed anyway after the event. Harpreet and Hakeem, yeah, high end. They obviously they wanted 33. And I think this decided back down on 26. So they didn't do too bad. With that. And of course, obviously, there's going to be a pit experience. One that was going to be Brittany and Aaron. Who, yeah, I think they proved nice people. And I think if nice people do presentations and stuff like that, I think it works because they enjoy it as well. I think Britt and Aaron get really involved in these things, and I think that works, and that'll work for the clients as well. To be honest with you, if they get involved and happy doing it, I'm very much like that. I mean, I can go with the flow and enjoy the thing. I might not want to do it week in, week out, but I can certainly obviously I can obviously get down with that. So I think Aaron sort of came to his fore in this, to be honest with you, and Brittany as well, because that's what I think Brittany's good at. I'm not too sure about the business side with these two, but as far as being likeable to the public, yes, definitely. And Harpreet had to go away and negotiate for this simulator, which is something like you get in a arcade. For me, what I saw, it wasn't much better than that. And all right, stick a couple of quid in an arcade, you get a couple of minutes, and it was 800 quid. It's a lot of money for Harpreet. But hey, there you go. It all doesn't bode too well for Harpreet's team at this point in time. And Hakeem is absolutely a waste of time. He just literally agreed with everything Harpreet says. He very, very laid back in this task. Very didn't come to the fore at all in this. So on the day, yeah, Brittany was as lively as everyone said with the customers. Aaron started off a little bit slowly, but then he picked up, did very, very well with the clients, presenting, etc. Steph and Kath Museum Tour was an absolute... Did they not do any homework? Did they not have a look at the place before, or even look at the maps, the layout of it the night before? Absolute waste of time. It was awful. As I said, museums are always a funny thing anyway. Not everyone likes museums, and they didn't, even to say to them, we'll just have a quick look around the gallery for 5 minutes, and then just have a little, just tell them what to do. People will need to be told what to do. Tell them to do that, and then that 5 minutes, just use the time to sort of plan what they're going to do next. And they just were aimless, absolutely aimless. Steph and Kath were, for strong characters in this Apprentice, they were very, very poor in the museum, and they certainly had no idea how things were working or what they were supposed to do. I thought that was pretty awful, to be honest with you. And the worst disaster was that they actually ended up turning up for the meal early, so nothing was ready. Obviously, Nick and Akshay had sort of gone from smashing it early doors to panicking, because I think they still served it 45 minutes late anyway, even allowing for the fact that the clients were early. But yeah, it was an empty table. But I mean, it's no good slagging the guys off. I mean, if you book the lunch for 12:30 and you come in before 12 o'clock, I mean, all right, the table might not have been laid, and it was just a total disaster because they walked through with the customer. I mean, I would have made light of that, but again, it's nerves, isn't it, and stuff like that. But it was awful. It wasn't great. So they've had the museum thing, which was a total disaster, to be honest with you. And the meal thing was a total disaster. Let's face it, if this team survives this one at that stage, you're thinking they're going to do very, very well to survive that. And that's to the benefit, of course, of Harpreet's team. And obviously, Akeem, obviously, we got the Rice gate, haven't we, where obviously Harpreet was very bossy in the kitchen. Poor Akeem didn't know where to go. And I think all he was responsible for was the rice. And I think he provided enough to feed the 5,000, never mind 10 or 15 guests of it, or however many clients there were, 10 clients or something like that. Steph and Kath, yeah, they did get a little bit back, too little too late, unfortunately, in the afternoon, which you would expect when the actual clients got to go around the racetrack with the driver in the cars. So, yeah, as you'd expect, that was the best bit about it, but I think that the damage had been done by then. And it was easy for Steph and Kath to sort of finish on a high and be confident, but it would come back to bite them, of course. And yes, the simulator, for one of the first questions from the client was, it's not virtual reality or, it's just a simulator. So there was a definite downer on that, as I said. But we will find out. Obviously, it didn't harm them in the end. I mean, I'll give you that clue now. As I said, you've watched it, so you know anyway, guys, don't you? Nick and Akshay, yeah, the Scale Electric did it for me. I would have enjoyed that bit of it, to be honest with you. But Harpreet and the team, yeah, okay. Apart from that simulator, which was, as I say, not great. I think they were offered another go on it, and they didn't. No one took them up on it. So good and bad, really. But to be honest with you, the strong girls that I wrote down here before, obviously they went to the boardroom. Kath and Steph struggled in this. They did struggle today, and you could tell Steph was a bit down. You could tell Steph was a bit worried today. She wasn't even throwing anyone under the bus. That was the best bit when it come to it. She was very quiet, very laid, but I think she was panicking just a little bit. She had a right to panic, to be honest with you. Of course, when you come to the boardroom, said the museum was a disaster. Lord Sugar picked up on that. Although they did comment obviously on diverse that the car experience was good, which was bound to be. That was a safe bet, anyway. And as I said, Steph just looked totally deflated in that boardroom, as though she was a bit worried. And I think she was, as I say, there was obviously she's got a chance, hasn't she? She has to bring 2 back in theory, and obviously there are a couple of weak links in that team, but she should have done better with what she was doing. Infinity, yeah, obviously they got away with the motion simulator, didn't they? Got away with that, and they got away with the rice. And I'm not sure what the food got. I don't think we got that, did we? But they got away. I think Infinity got away with it. So when it comes to the money, Diverse just made just over £1,200 profit. And Infinity, yeah, no refunds, because Diverse had refunds as well. Yeah, they had nearly 500 quid in refunds, 20% of what they earned. Infinity, no refunds. So that won the task, really, 1,926. But they did sort of get away, as I said, they did get away with that VR, the simulator, which was a big boo-boo on their part. But everything else went really well. Can't say it didn't, to be honest with you. The track tour went really well. You could tell the clients enjoyed it. So, yeah, probably overall, they were the better team, and he would prove the better team by getting the most money and doing it right. Interestingly enough, they went to, apparently Alan Sugar sent them to his Tottenham stadium. I don't think it's your stadium, mate. I might be wrong there, but I'll have to check. I think Mr. Levy's got something to do with it. But yeah, it's your team, mate. But I don't think it's your stadium anymore. You're not the chairman anymore, mate. So, but I might be wrong on that, but I don't think so. So there you go. Diverse are coming back. Obviously, they gone to the old cafe. I don't think there was too much bad blood as usual. I think Steph was on a downer this week. So I think she thought she might be on her way, which is unusual because she has been strong. So I think she should have had more faith in herself. But Catherine was probably in trouble. Kath was probably in trouble as well. And obviously, did they lose it on the food? Probably not. They didn't lose it on the food. They lost it on the whole presentation of the day, apart from the final going around the track, as I said, which was a no-brainer anyway. But obviously, the girls were mainly at fault. But obviously, Steph's pathetic negotiations, said Lord Sugar, about the monies. Obviously, he didn't even ask her to bring anyone back, because quite rightly, he just brought all 4 back. And I certainly didn't cheer Steph up anymore, that's for sure. but it was a really big error. So, to be honest with you, the fact that all four came back, I thought Steph would be safe. I thought she would be all right because some of the guys haven't shown anything in previous weeks. To say one of the weakest was Nick, of course, as well. So, I thought she might get away with it, even though, as I said, I think she'd virtually give up on this task in the boardroom. I just didn't see the fight from Steph, so I'm sure she'll bounce back. And Lord Sugar summed them all up. Told Kath he wasn't sure what she'd been good at. Told Steph that she should have been capable in this, and it all backfired, which is quite right. I think it surprised us all. She told Akshay this is the 5th time he's been back, so there's a definite problem. And told Nick he wasn't sure what he gave. He gave the process, and I can't disagree with it. So unfortunately for people like Steph, who was PM, Nick was fired based on previous performances, I think, and no show. So I don't think there's any comeback from that. You're fired. The panel said, yeah, two yes and one no. So two agreed and one no. But the audience said hired. And I think he's a nice bloke, so I think he's going to get that anyway. Let's be honest about it. Shows and no shows this week. Yeah, Harpreet was a bossy self. Harpreet did okay, so I'm going to keep her at number 1. She's fine. She's fine at still in my favourite now. Catherine, yeah. I think Catherine's still number 2. I think Catherine over Stephanie. As I said, Stephanie's got that hard side, and I think she gave up this week. Certainly when she started doing the museum tour to the food, and obviously I think she recovered a little bit, but I think she gave up. But I think I'd just stick Catherine because of her personality more than Stephanie, although I do appreciate Steph's quite a hard woman and more probably be harder in business, but sometimes you've got to know when to be and when not to be. So I'll stick Catherine 2nd and Stephanie 3rd. Aaron, yeah, I put him up a bit from last week because I thought he did very well and he's comfortable. I think he's comfortable presenting, and we're interested to see how this selling thing goes on the selling channel next week. We'll see. I think Aaron will be in the studio trying to sell because that's one of his things. With Brittany as well, who obviously is bubbly. So it doesn't surprise me. I think we saw clips, but it wouldn't surprise me if Aaron and Brittany are selling on camera anyway. So that's what they'll be up to. So I've put Aaron and Brittany. And my bottom 2 would have to be Akshay, who's I think Lord Sugar's already intimated could be on his way out very, very soon. And Hakeem is just... Hakeem is not offering anything at all. He's still in there. He's in the last 7. I can't see... I mean, even if he gets to the last 4 with the CVs and stuff, I mean, I'll be very surprised. I think he'll go before then, but he's got to be on a losing team, hasn't he? He's got to do something really bad. But Akshay and Hakeem, I think, have to be the next 2 favourites to go. Although Brittany and Aaron, for me, are okay at certain things, but have not shown any sort of business now whatsoever. And as I said there before, next time is the shopping channel. Let me know what you think, guys. Anyway, let me know who your favourite is and who's not your favourite. So just run through my list then of the top of the 7 now. Number 1, Harpreet. Number 2, Catherine. Number 3, Stephanie. Number 4, Aaron. Number 5, Brittany. Number 6, Akshay. And number 7, Hakeem. So we'll have the shopping. That should be fun. Should be fun. We've seen little snippets, haven't we? So that looks very good for next week. Please join me next week when we do Apprentice. What episode is it? Oh, can I remember what episode it is next week? Episode 9. I think it's 12, isn't there? Is it 12? Oh, I think there is. So we're getting there, aren't we? Series 16. Join me next week for week 9, the selling channel. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed today's feature. Please, if you did, you're not already subscribed, push that subscribe button, push that bell notification. All these little vlogs are coming out. Much appreciated. Please, guys, give us that thumbs up if you've not already done so. And all your comments, as you'd expect, are very, very welcome. And I try to answer all of them. Anyway, we're going to do rest day. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the Film and TV channel. I only ask one thing. Please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.